Chciałem nagrać parę filmów na ulicy Londynu i opowiedzieć wam, co się dzieje w pulsie. Niestety jest tak głośno, że muszę praktycznie krzyczeć do kamery, żebyście mogli mnie słyszeć. Postanowiłem zrobić wywiad z kimś, kto pracuje w IAK-u, także myślę, że to będzie ciekawy materiał, bardzo pouczający. Także bardzo was zapraszam na ten właśnie wywiad. When I saw this principle first time, I just flashed in my mind that this is something that I want to share with people, because this is the most important thing, and I very like it. And please tell us why it's so important.
The idea of this principle, do not believe in anything, but have your own experiences. This is the principle of your self-research. It is researching through you, through your own experiences. There are many books out there. There are many people talking about paranormal phenomena in general. And most of us, we are believers because we read a book, we find it interesting, and then we believe on that. And then we keep on saying, but that book said that people said that, but we never had the experience. If one day this planet has technology enough that can show to us what is an out-of-body experience, not even at that moment the personal experience will be substituted by that. We really need to have our own experience to know that we are not one physical body, that we don't have one life, that we are going to continue existing. There is no death. When you personally know that, that changes you. And in terms of evolution in this planet or in any other, we are all in need to seek personal experiences, because then it's when we grow. It's when we know for sure. If you ask me today, Patricia, do you believe in out-of-body experiences? My answer is no, because I have these out-of-body experiences. I had these out-of-body experiences. So for me, it's not a matter of believing, it's experiencing. So any person in this planet can come to me and say, you are crazy. This doesn't exist. And I cannot argue with that person because I had that. So in that sense, it is important for all of us to experience. So there is no more that book or that person, but in fact, you had the experience, and from there you can change yourself. And for sure, once you change yourself, people around you, they start to say, Robert, you are different. What you are doing? I don't know, you feel different. But because they can see that you are changing, that you are becoming stronger, that you are more lucid, more coherent. So this is because you are the one really experiencing, not following anyone, but using your criticism, your analysis, your judgment. So that's what is important for us.
Patricia, first of all, I want to thank you very much for inviting me to this office, to IAC course CPD Intensive. And I have some questions for you, and if you mind, it will be very nice to interview with you. So my first question is about yourself. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course.
Some short information about IAC.
My name is Patricia Souza. I'm the coordinator of IAC UK. And IEC stands for International Academy of Consciousness. This is a non-profit organization that does research and education and studies of the consciousness, studying ourselves through paranormal phenomena such as out-of-body experiences.
Yeah, that's nice. And I have a question for you. Maybe this is a personal question. How it started that you interesting out-of-body experience?
Yeah. When I was very young, around 7 years old, I had an episode where I was feeling around me people in my house, but I could not see it. I thought at that age that everybody would feel the same, so I mentioned that to my parents, to my mother at that time, and then immediately she took me to a psychologist, thinking that I was going crazy. But after that, I started to get more motivated to study this phenomena because I thought there must be something else. I never liked religion. My objective was to study as natural as possible. So what I like from IAC is that the approach of these two sciences, conscientology and projectology, is that it's a scientific approach. It's a very natural approach. We all leave the body each night. We all have a possibility to develop paranormal abilities, and that's where I found very comfortable to be within this organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And next question. This is for my curiosity because on one session on your classes, you told that it's possible to do out-of-body exit in standing position. It's for me very hard to understand because when I going out of body, I'm always in lying position. So what do you say about this?
Ideally is for you to be laying down or sitting on a chair to have out-of-body experiences. There have been cases where people are maybe even driving and or standing up or walking, and they had this quick out-of-body experiences. They are not there for a 10-minute experience, but they do have a minor disconnection. But ideally, where we teach in our classes is for everybody to be as comfortable as possible, sitting or laying down, preferably, and then they can enjoy a longer experience, a more controlled one.
Okay, so I understand that is a shortly out-of-body experience.
Correct.
Yes? Okay. So what can you say about out-of-body exit and meeting some dead people?
Well, this is a long conversation, but to make it very simple, when we leave the body, we have the possibility to meet people that they are in between lives. We usually say that they are dead, but they are not dead. When we leave the body, we see them as we see us. So it's even difficult to see who is out of the body, projected in these dimensions, and who is actually living in those dimensions. But it is possible to meet parents, friends, people that are in between one physical life and the other, living in these dimensions. They are either learning, they are studying, they are preparing themselves to come back to another life. So it's a very rich experience when you meet somebody that you know, because that's a confirmation that, that's it. This is not imagination. I'm here with my grandfather, and he's telling me that he's fine and he's going to be reborn in another family. So it makes sense, and you start to understand the bigger picture of evolution, because actually out-of-body experience gives you access to these dimensions and helps you to understand why we are here for, what is the objective of this life, and why we are interested in these topics, right? So this is the most important thing.
I think you answer my next questions, okay. Because okay. I wanted to say, ask you about relationship between out-of-body exit and our development program, personal development program.
Yeah. The idea is that as consciousnesses, we are living in this physical body, right? But we all came into this life actually to accomplish something. Either it is a minor thing, is to fix a relationship, to improve a relationship, to learn something new, to develop a new ability, a new intelligence, up to a very big existential program or mission, if we are going to use that word. There is a topic that we study in our classes, which is intermissive courses or intermissive period. The intermissive period is, intermissive comes from in between two missions, right? So in between two physical lives, we have this period outside the body that sometimes our relatives are there at this moment, where we plan our next life. And this plan is actually based on the results of our previous lives. What have we been done? And maybe very successful previous life, maybe not that much. But anyways, the idea is that we are all evolving. We don't just come here to enjoy life and have vacation, right? But we come here with objectives. And most of us, we do feel that feeling that I have to do something here. Cannot be just, growing up and studying and then finding a job and then getting married and then having a house, a mortgage, and dying. It cannot be just as simple as that. It needs to be something else. So that feeling is actually a little bit of this answer of our evolution, what we are doing here. So this is the desire that we all have, that there is something else that we need to do.
Okay, my feelings are the same, so this is maybe some intuitive or...
Exactly,
yes.
Exactly. That's true.
Okay, and at last I want to ask you if you would like to say something to Polish people who didn't experience out-of-body exit.
Yeah. Well, if you have curiosity in these topics, it doesn't need to be only out-of-body experiences, but intuition, clairvoyance, near-death experience, right? There's so bioenergies. There's so many phenomena. There is a very important phenomenon that it's called retrocognition. The president of IAC, Wagner Allegretti, he's residing in the research campus that we have in Portugal, and he wrote a book on this topic, recalling previous lives. And some of the people that may be watching this movie, they probably, sometimes they had this flash of a life that it's obviously previous from this one. And this is a paranormal phenomenon as well. So if you had any kind of personal experience that you are willing to study, it is worth to go the distance to try to study a little bit further, because we all want to take advantage of this opportunity, this life. This is one life, but we are very lucid at this moment. We are aware that these things exist. So we should be taking advantage of the opportunities that comes to us. So if something happened to you, to any of you, study a little bit more. See the connections between this phenomena and what you are experiencing in your life. It is worth to do that.
Okay, Patricia, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming to London. We appreciate you. And
yes, I must thank you for personal. So you have too much energy, so warm, positive energy that I think maybe Polish people can appreciate that. So
of course, we hope that one day we are teaching there as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.